Hello. Today's stream will be a small one because I have to go somewhere. So let me get you directly to the context. I have done some work offline while I was not streaming. So let me show you. One thing I added was job.updated at in the update status because the updated ad didn't update even when the status was updated for the job. So I had to add this simple line. Rest of the changes are just formatting issues. In memory.co, the uh, previously it was called NAQ. That was wrong interpretation. So I did it. So I changed the name and now it makes sense. In config.go, this is a big one. You can say a small one. Basically, what I am doing is I am I'm importing the values from .env. To do that, I have a helper function which converts environment string. As you know, we receive a string to integer. That's simple. If the string is empty, then it will convert this. If it gets a value, then it will return a value. Otherwise, it will return the default value. And what the function do is implement the config like this. First, it will get the port, and then max retries, base delay, max delay, and num workers using environment to int, where I will get from os.getEnv. For now, I'm sticking to os.getEnv. Later, we will see what we need to do. Now, coming to the main parts. From today onwards, we will start wiring up to the main. So it means I'll complete the memory queue part of the project. After that, from next week, or I can say 1 or 2 days later, I'll start a Redis implementation so that the backend is production ready, not just a toy gimmick. So first thing I need to do is declare some undeclared constructors. I have to see where I have not declared some constructors. Remember, like these constructors, because they will be used extensively in the main.co package, where we will use this constructor to create a registry and all that, registry handlers and all that. So first constructor we need to create is a store constructor. I remember, yeah, there's no store constructor, so I'll have to create a new store construction. Yeah, I have to also turn off my Copilot. New memory, new memory store. Let it be new memory store. I'll just follow what I did just previously. Instead of new memory, I'll just simply use this new store, so that it serves both for memory and in the case of so it should return a store interface. If I'm not wrong, it should return a store like, yeah, we had returned registry, but it was a struct. I have to check what I did in queue. So new memory queue, yeah, I have to do different for each new memory store. Let's create a new memory store struct. It will return in memory store. What it will do is return percent in memory store, and will fill the values. That is mutex is already filled. We will fill the job. How did we do it in this part? Okay, name and we'll just make it. Okay. So what I'll do is jobs, make map of string, yeah, with the value. The size, this should work just like we did in the memory queue. Yep. But it was a job heap. I should not do something like this. This side. Let's just make this up. And next thing we need to do is add constructor for retry engine. Where's our retry engine? Here's our retry engine. Yeah, we need a constructor here. Let's shift this upwards so this will make sense. They are stacked together, so this will make sense. Func new retry engine. What it will do is it will return as a retry engine. And it will just what it will do is it will initialize store and a queue that's needed to be passed. Like I need a store and a queue passed so that I can use that store st for now is a type of store and a queue which is type of queue max delay the type of time duration. This constructor will be created last, so yeah, after creating a store and a queue and getting the max delay value from .env, I will use this constructor after that to create a retry engine. Yep, that will work fine. 1% retry engine will be stored equals st q equals q and a max delay equals max delay. Next we need a constructor in worker pool. Let me create a constructor here too. Here start, stop, run worker, process job. Nothing more. I have to create a constructor here. Func new worker pool. It needs a queue, store, registry, retry engine. So it will be created at last after the retry engine has been created. So the flow would be something like I'll create a queue, job, queue, then registry, store, registry, then retry engine, and then at last I'll create a pool. So what it will take is queue of type queue.queue store dot store job dot store a registry type. I don't think I need to pass the registry. What's the work of registry? Just what I need to pass is reference to a retry engine. RDRY is a reference to retry engine. I'll pass and I'll pass workers wait group does not need to pass context, does not need to pass text or text. Do I need to pass the context? How do I create a constructor for something like this? I've never created a constructor this specific. Let's move to our AI and ask it, how will I create for a new pickup control? Let's see what it says. Read how the constructor shapes. I have one doubt. Do I need to pass the retry? And what about wait group? What about the context? Do I need to also pass the context dot cancel function? If yes, then I'll learn something new. If no, then I am right. That's all. Let's see what happens. What it generates. I have to check that too. So what it does is it takes a queue, just to registry, retry, and unfocus. Context dot with cancel. Okay, it creates a context for itself. But what if it creates a context for itself? There is one doubt. It creates a context for itself. Is that alright? As main will be central orchestrator. Once I map everything out. Let's see what happens. We are asking the data architecture to confirm the exact constructor location and then just clean. What it will do is it wants to check the number of lines in it and it wants to check it's equals to okay. Let's see. Okay, yes, your doubt is valid. Creating its own root context inside the pool is not on project standalone, but the main is your central main to own the root context and pass it down. Unified shutdown. One cancel signal in main can stop HTTP server better life cycle. So your current approach is acceptable for now, but for orchestrated, switch to parent contextualization if you want. I can patch. Yes, please patch. Let's see. So it will also take now a context, which is a parent context. Okay, it will create a cancel function based on the parent context and it will, if parent context is null, it will use. This looks cool to me. Let's see, anything else? Wait group is generated on its own, so there's no issue. And why is it making this as we tried our engine and not period context, if period context is cool, now let's say by did you remove pointer from a retry engine. That's I didn't say it to remove a pointer from retry engine. Why did it do so? Not a struct. Oh yeah. In the previous iteration I had struct, so I used the pointer, but now it's an interface, so that's valid. Yeah, it looks cool. And shut the hell up now. Next thing is after the pool constructor, what we will do now is create a new API file. Where's the API folder? Yeah, here. Just like here we have this. We'll create a server.go file for now. APIs, just create a server.go file. And let me remove this one. Yes. So what we will do first is install the Chi router. Okay, to install the Chi router, I should use go get. Okay, let me install the Chi router. Let me get the URL for the Chi router. Chi router. Go. I'm using Chi router because I want little to no dependencies. It's in version 5. This is the latest thing I got. Let me check if there's an issue. Yeah. Go mod vendor. Okay, next thing we go mod ID. Now everything is fixed. Go.sum, it depends. Why does it depend on anything? Where's the Chi router? Is it here? Modules.txt, gitlab.com, explicit go version 1.22. What's my go version? That's 1.26. What does it mean? Can I import Chi router? github.com/go-chi /chi v5. Oh, why it's giving me issues? Let me just do once more. Go mod vendor. What's the issue? Go mod tidy. github.com will not used. Now it's fixed. Okay, I have the G router. Firstly, what I'll do is also import net HTTP because that's what I will use for API server. Let's create a server. I'll have to create a server start. What the server will take is type server is a type of struct. What it will have a store, a queue manager, a store, and I also need ID in here. So how will I import that? That's the issue. Let's write firstly a store. I'll need a store which is simply job dot, yeah, I have to import this to dot store, which is a interface. Okay, next I'll do is import a manager. Instead of writing a manager, I should write a queue manager, making it verbose and clear. Queue while there is start queue dot queue manager is a type of struct. Yeah, I need a struct. This will have queues and a mutex, but will get and register. Yeah, this will work fine. Next I need is ID generator for my Snowflake. Since I'm generating IDs, like I'll create a new, then I'll generate next ID. So I don't have an ID generator function. Let me get one thing. Should I in my Snowflake ID, Snowflake package, I don't have, but the next ID function is a generator function if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's a generator function. It returns int 64. It's a generator function. Let's use it for now. We'll see. ID generator start Snowflake dot Snowflake. It will have a function which is next ID. Nice. Next thing I need is a constructor for creating a server. Let's create a constructor for creating a server. I'll use the simple thing I used earlier, like I'll create func new server, which will take argument as a queue manager, a store, which is a type of job.store. Okay, a queue manager, QM, which is a type of queue manager, star queue manager, and lastly ID generator. So what I'll name it is ID generator. I'll name this as ID generator, and name this as id gen, making it explicit and verbose. Snowflake.snow. Let's just remove this. What it will do is it will return as a pointer. Need to return. It will return as a pointer to server. Return server, which will be stored, will be of type st. Queue manager will be of type QL. And lastly, id generator will be id gen. Yep, this is all we need. Next, we will need a method to start the server. Okay, let's create a method to start the server. The server will only have one method, that is to start the server. Func ampersand on, let's name it S, which is type of server, struct pointer, which is start. Okay, what it will do is it will take address, because the listen and serve method takes an address with a router. So I'll just pass down an address string. It will return us error, if any. So first we will do is initialize the chi router. Chi dot new router. Okay, next we will return http dot listen and serve. It will take a handler in the address we passed along in the handler, which is r. This will work fine. Here we will define all our routes. Route definition hit. We'll create some minor functions. Let's create two functions for now. One for creating a job and one for retrieving the created job, just to check if everything works fine. So what I'll do is r dot a post method, which will work on /jobs. It will use a handler function which will handle. Let's create a function first. Jobs and r dot get method which will work on jobs slash will take id as param values. So let's create two functions, one for retrieving a job and one for creating a job. Before doing anything, I think I should create a struct for how will be the structure of a request, like what will be the structure user can send us. Let me just go through the preview if there is something like middleware route registration. We'll do this in this parts. For now, I'll define a struct here, a central struct, which will be type create. I think I should define these structs with the ranges. So I'll create a new handler. How should I name the handlers? Yeah, jobs.go. If you might be wondering where I get this, I did some R&D with my AI agents, and we derived a plan beforehand before starting the project. So I have a concrete idea what I'm building, and what should be my folder structure, how everything maps. That's why I can move fastly in between these. Package handler. Let's write some handlers. First we'll define a struct type. Struct type create job request. This type struct. It will just define how a create job request will work. It will take type, which will be string. I think I should copy these from something like here. I should copy these and omit those which I don't need, because these also already contain JSON tags. So payload JSON.row message. What should it contain? ID shouldn't be contained, it will be returned. It should contain type, it should contain payload, it shouldn't contain status, it will be generated internally, it should contain a priority, a delay if any, and max retries. A retry count, error, and all that is internal, created and updated as internal, run after is internal. So this is what user is required to send. Let me just import the packages, and this one too. Nice. Next I'll define create job handler, which will be used to create a job, and it will be used in the do I have helpers here? Server.go middleware. I need helper to write JSON and write error. I need helpers too. Where should I define those helpers? First, I need to define some helpers. Where should I define those? Should I define them in server.go, or should I define them in a new file named helpers? Helpers will be needed across all the handlers, and apart from them they won't be needed anywhere else. I don't think so. So I'll define them in a new file. I'll change the folder structure a little. Here I will add a new folder which will be helper. Handler helper dot go. Package, it's handler package, so imports doesn't concern anyone. There will be two helpers. We write JSON. These are standard practices. I can do them fast. Most of you watching, I know there is no one watching, but most of you, if watching later, know how to write JSON and write error helpers. So I can go through this fast. What it will take is W, which is type of HTTP dot response writer status which will be int, and lastly it will be B, which is any. Okay, what we'll do is do something like interface. I like the old style. Just yeah. Who starts complaining? I knew it. That's why I used any, but let's go with the new knobs instead of. So what we'll do is headers. I'll set a header which will be simply content type. If I, yeah, content type, there should be no spelling mistake here. Application slash JSON. This will work fine. But next I want to do is w.write header status, and lastly JSON dot new encoder w dot encode v. Okay, next we will do is I need to export these out, so I have to keep them like this. Func right error, somewhat similar to above but a little different. Like it will take the above status and this, but instead of v it will take a message which would be a string error message, which will be a string. Okay, what I'll do is use the above function which will write JSON. It will take w, I'll pass w status which will be status. Lastly, what I'll do is map of string which is simply error with MSG, and I need something like comma. This looks good. Yeah. Now let's write the handler for creating a job and getting a job. After that, I'll close off the stream. I have to go somewhere. We'll continue tomorrow. Let me create job function which will be on server. Server API dot server. Okay, this is okay. Handle create job. Yeah, it will be tackled sooner or later. What it will take is w dot w, which is the http dot response right there, and a request will be http dot request. What's the issue? Cannot define new methods on local type API dot server. Quick fix. New methods on local, resolving method definition issue. So I have to define something like this. It will take a server API response and a response, something like this, and will create a job. I have to define that over there. So I can't use s dot handle create. What if I name the package same, like it's the part of API package? Found package handler. Yeah, in home API handler list handler. Can't I use the same package like API? Now I think it will work. Like I can convert this to the control line, and use API package. And I don't need to do this now. I don't need to do this now, I guess. Undefined server star server HTTP or server API not server. Still the same if you cannot define new methods on local type. But I do want to define methods. What can I do? If I do want to define methods on local type like that, I have to read about this. And let me read about this. Instead of doing a bunch of Google search, let's ask it, how can I define methods on server, or should I not? That how server is currently in creative application. The example that fits a project's layout. Let's see what happens. Server.go, it currently uses let's see what it says. You're deciding whether server should have methods. How much time will it take? I don't know. I found a key go package boundary issue in your current layout. So I'll grab exact line and show you fields and what structure will work cleanly. Yeah, I need clean structure right now. Because the handler package is here, I was going to use that here. That was also causing issues, like out of scope issues. I confirmed the root cause. Your current handler file is trying to attach a method to a type from another package. I'll now give you exact rules. You have a method receiver on API server. Now in Go you cannot add methods to a non-local type. Okay. Also jobs.go import server.go whilst declaring package name API in a different folder, which creates confusing package boundary. Recommend to keep server methods in server.go or other files in same folder. Handlers to either methods on servers in internal /API or a dedicated handler struct in API. Do good pattern, simple and direct. Would now put handle create job as this saved internal API package same folder path as server type. Register route, clean separation, better as project grows. API handler define handler struct. Make handler struct. Take store queue. Handler create job. If you want, I can refactor this out using pattern too. So your package boundaries are clean and compulsive. Okay, do it, but don't. Okay, do it for now. Let's see what it does. We'll remove unnecessary things for now. So what it's going to do is, as I reduce from this, it will create a handler struct here, which will be used instead of API server. We can use that directly inside our server. Let's see how it does. Things something like, let's see what happens. Hmm. What it did is handler helper logo. It added a struct type handler which mimics server. New, it will just define a new decoder and a decoder. Okay. Let's see what it changed. It changed a lot of things. Firstly, it created these things. It changed the packet from, but the package handler. Okay. Package path is different than the other package handler. Okay, language version, something like that. It will take these things. It will create this. This looks good. It will create a new. Here we have to think about this part. I have to remove because this is the part I'm going to do myself. Instead, I'll just let it be clean and this will clean. Next we'll read is next thing we'll read is remove this dependency. Okay, remove this dependency for now. Create job, remove this entirely. I don't want this currently. I don't want this. I don't want this. And I also don't want this. I'll keep this. Remove this one and keep this. Changes. What it will do is import these packages and create a handler. Okay, so it's simple enough. Yep. Get job and this. So I reduced a lot of things. The business logic will be written entirely by me. Here it will not throw us anything, but it can throw an error, so we just ignore the error for now. Okay, let's go. Let's see what we'll need to implement now. What we are going to implement is a handler create job. Handler, which will be create job. Okay, so first we'll do is var rec will create a request of type create job request. Okay, next we'll do is decode the body and decode the request. We will decode the body. Yeah, let's decode the body. So first we'll do is JSON dot new decoder on r dot body dot decode into r rec. Yep. Shows value better. Nice. It can fail, so it can generate error. Instead of writing too much, I can simply use short form here. Error not equal nil. Error not equal nil. I'll do a write error which will be w next status. What status should be this? HTTP dot bad request. Status bad request. Yep. Cost untyped int status code. What's the issue? Not in the file. Okay. Next we will do is a message string. A message string should be invalid JSON. Nice. We check the body for invalid JSON. Next we will validate the job. Validate the job data. Let me write validate body JSON. Okay. If rec dot type, if rec dot type equals, now we have empty string. If type is an empty string, we will just simply write an error saying let's use w, write an error which is bad request error, status bad request. Status bad request, and it will say something like type is required. Next what we'll do is check priority. In my internal mapping I have defined that priority should be, let me just write a short comment here, 0 to 10. The priority should be 0 to 10. If priority is less than 0, rec dot priority less than 0, or priority is greater than 10, rec dot priority greater than 10, we will simply return error which will say the right error. W HTTP bad request, status bad request will say priority my spelling priority must be between 0 and 10. Inclusive. Should I write inclusive? No. Anything more we need to check? Payload we can't check. Priority payload doesn't concern us because it's concerning the, oh, I wrote it at the wrong place. X, let's shift the focus here and just format the document. Okay, delay if provided, then okay, if not provided, then no problem, begin. Next we will do is build the job. For building the job, what we will do is take current time, build the job now equals to time dot, let's import time package dot now. It will take the current time and it will create a job of type percent job dot job, something like that. Do I have any function? Job dot yeah, I have to use this one only. Job dot job. What it will take is ID So what I'll do is ID will take as ID will generate an ID which will be h dot ID generator dot next ID. Next fields it will take. What are the other fields it needs? Type it will be, which will be rec dot type, and payload rec dot payload. What's the issue here? Cannot use a string value in struct literal. What it returns? It returns a string int 64. I need to convert it to a string. Yeah, this will work fine. Job ID is a string. Okay. Next we need priority, status and all that. Priority, which will be rec dot priority. Next we'll need status, which will be rec dot status pending job dot status pending status pending. Initially the job will be pending status. We'll use created it and updated it as now. And what are the other things we need? Delay, max retry and all that. We will not set these up. It will be set up later. So for now, max retries should be rec dot max retries, and what other things are set up? A delay should be rec dot delay. Instead of doing this, I shouldn't pass delay directly here. Max retries I can pass. Okay, I need created at now and updated at now. Okay, we have a job. Now one thing we will do is check if delay is greater than 0. Then calculate run after time. Okay. Then set up that. Okay, yeah, we'll do so. If rec dot delay is greater than 0. Now you might be wondering why I didn't set delay here, because delay is an internal build which will be used while we are doing failure retry. Okay, so next we'll do is job dot run after equals to now dot add, will add time dot duration of rec dot delay in seconds, time dot second. So I should write it something like here. We'll define it seconds. I could have set up this to be hours, but second works fine. Unused right to field. Oh, why? Unused right to field run after. What's this? Unused right to field created at. We'll see later. Now I have created this. Now next thing we need to do is save the job in the store and enqueue it into a queue. Okay, let's do. What I'll do is save the job. Where's my store? H dot store dot save. I'll pass context which will be request.context. It needs the context request dot context. For now, we will change this later. Request dot context for now, but this might be an issue. No. Let's see. And pass a job, which will be this job. Okay, what it'll do is it'll throw an error, so we need to handle the error. If I'll write error, which will be W500 because it's an internal server error, and failed to save the job, something like that. Save job. Okay, next we will do is, after saving the job, if I fail I should return from here, but they're not propagating. Also, return should be done here, and here too. Next, what's the issue? Conversion from int 64 to string yields a string of one line, not a string of digits. String is a set of. That's the issue. Can we use strnfo? I need string convert int str convert dot as the string representation of int of I in given base 36. What is the lowercase letter is that? We need a base and I'll convert it later if needed, but for now let's stick to this. We'll convert it into a base 10 integer string. Is letters A to Z for digits greater than or equal to 10. Let's see how it works but for now let's go to the next part, that is we will enqueue the job. Does queue manager provide .enqueue? Queue manager does not provide. I need a different type here. What I'm saying is I should stop the stream for now. It's already been too much clutter. I need to study first and then I'll come back tomorrow. Also, I have to go somewhere. Okay, bye bye.